With us right now is Julian Franklin from Kraft, and we're so glad to have you here, Julian, especially after all that happened over the last week and a bit.
Hey, Don, it's a pleasure to be on the phone with you guys, and congratulations to Owen Sound.
It was absolutely incredible. CraftAssists.ca is where we sent a lot of people over the last 10 days. And tell us about this campaign. Where did it come from?
Well, I tell you, we have always had a strong connection with food banks and Food Banks Canada, and we've always done a festive-related program throughout the years. But as we looked at what we were going to do for 2011, we sat back in the late spring and early summer and said, what can we do that was going to be a little bit more impactful, and how could we make sure that the work and commitment we have to food banks is really getting down to the local level. And we came up with this idea of Kraft Food for Families, which really, was more or less looked at as a test and learn this year to pick 30 food banks across the country, give them an opportunity to, vie for the $50,000 that we would traditionally hand out to food banks on a yearly basis. And, this way we would know that there is 30 food banks that would get the money and understand that they desperately need it for various capacity building as well as just to stock shelves. We thought it would work. And, boy, were we ever surprised, because we had planned this out as a 10-week program. It turned into an 8-day program with the $50,000 being snapped up that quickly.
And a lot of that has to do with the impact that Owen Sound had on the campaign.
Without a doubt. Owen Sound is going to, when it's all said and done, come away with over $30,000 courtesy of Kraft Food for Families. Obviously, the $22,000 that you received through the votes, and then the incremental $10,000 for having the most votes. And really, it just goes to show, what can happen when a community bands together and rallies behind a cause. We saw it across the country with a number of food banks, which we were really happy with. Owen Sound was by far and away the leader, but we had a lot of great support from, food banks in Iqaluit, as well as in Ottawa, in Newfoundland, and Saskatchewan, and, it really was a pleasure for us to see, within that small span of 8 days, everyone rallying for the cause.
And when do the food banks see this money?
So the food banks are going to see this money as soon as possible. We are going to work through Food Banks Canada, which is the main hub that will end up distributing the money out to each of the individual 30 food banks. So we've already started to expedite that process with them directly. So I would hope that it's something that would be seen before the holidays, but if not, definitely soon after. So Food Banks Canada has made it a priority once we give them the funding to get it out to all 30 food banks.
Is this going to be an ongoing yearly project?
We think it will be. I mean, this is year one, and I think that what we've found is, when you get a program that really is at the grassroots level, something that a community can rally around and wrap their arms around and support, we think we have something special. So we're going to look at already what we're going to do for 2012 and, hopefully make this even bigger and better next year.
Now, why do you think this program was a success as it was?
Well, I think it all comes back again to the food banks and leveraging their networks of people, and also social media as well as the mainstream media. I'm sure the Owen Sound Salvation Army couldn't have done it without the support of your radio station as well as the local papers and people just getting out the word that it really was something simple they had to do. Just go online, give us your email address, and select the Owen Sound Salvation Army Food Bank. Those were all the steps, and I think that simplicity combined with the fact that everyone wants to support their local food bank, because it's become unfortunately such an integral part of some communities across the country. With over 900,000 people needing food banks across Canada, it really was something that people were able to grasp around the holidays and really put on their shoulders and take it away.
Well, from all of us here in Owen Sound in the Grey Bruce area, we want to say thanks to Kraft. What an incredible initiative.
Well, thank you, and we're glad we're able to do something, in our small part, and we hopefully will be, seeing and hearing from Owen Sound again in the future.
Oh, you will.